Good afternoon, Lawrence. My name is Jerome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I see they got you some water. Can I get you some coffee?
No, I'm good, thank you.
No? All right. So we spoke over the phone briefly about your situation with the Army and their discharge. I believe you're a Vietnam veteran and you got a Purple Heart.
Yes.
Right. Well, thank you very much for your service to our country.
Appreciate it.
But because of your discharge, from what I understand, you're having some implications. I would like for you to go over some detail about the situation. If you're feeling like any type of symptoms from your PTSD, you're more than welcome to take a break. I understand that some of it could be too much to kind of remember. So please go over some more detail. If there's anything that you believe our office could do for you, go ahead and communicate that to me.
Okay, yeah, I'm a Vietnam vet. I was dishonorably discharged, which means that my actions and behaviors that I took were not adequate enough for me to be eligible for any benefits, or military benefits, or be considered an honorable military veteran.
Mm-hmm.
So, the reason why I was dishonorably discharged because of my discrimination, or my actions on the field, which I thought were because of discrimination and various other things, because I was injured different times and I was told by my supremacies, which were white, to like get back on the field and disregard my injuries. And I was in fear for my life, because who wouldn't be if you're on the field and you feel like your reliability to your troops and your teammates and stuff like that. So with that, I believe it was because of discrimination and all that. So I decided to go AWOL on the whole operation and everything, and I became dishonorably discharged. So my goal for today is to help with me upgrading my status to being honorably discharged, to help me get benefits, health benefits and housing benefits, because I am homeless and I am exposed to Agent Orange, which means my body is deteriorating at a slow rate because of the effects of it and stuff like that. So I just want to see what I can do to better myself today.
Right. Well, I'm sorry about everything that's going on in your situation. Being homeless and a veteran, it's totally unacceptable. Not getting treatment for your Agent Orange exposure is very terrible. And I understand that you have PTSD too as well, sir?
Yeah, I still do. I'm getting treated for that in Phoenix right now, but
Okay.
it's not adequate enough.
Right. So VA would help that if you had the honorable discharge. So to recap, you got dishonorable discharge, but it was because of some discrimination in the Army. You were under doctor's orders and they told you to go out to the field.
Yes.
And you felt that there was, I guess, an assault on your life and that you were gonna die, so you decided to go AWOL.
Yeah. I feel like they had no regards to my life, no sympathy for my injury. Even though doctor's orders told me that I was not recommended to be out there, or I shouldn't be out there, they didn't really care for it. So.
Mm-hmm. And the AWOL is the whole reason for your discharge being dishonorable.
Yes.
Right.
Because of regards to orders and along with me just leaving.
Okay. And because of your dishonorable discharge, you're unqualified for healthcare.
Yes.
You are not qualified to get any type of housing, adequate housing as a veteran, and also your PTSD and your Agent Orange exposure, you're not getting any treatment for that. Except
PTSD, yes, but anything else, no.
But the PTSD treatment is not as good as you'd get if you're in the VA.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you came to the right place. I believe we could help you in your situation. We have constituent services here where we're able to contact the Army, the Army Review Board, and we'll see if we could get some leverage for you and see if they could change your rating.
How long does that usually take?
It takes years. I think it takes years, but because of the congressional office, we may be able to get that expedited. We can contact the VA on your behalf, so we're gonna we could do that for you, but we don't really do all the application process. We can't. We have policy here where we can't specifically tell you what to put on your application and all that, but we can definitely get the application, get the package that you organize, and we can send those off to the organization. We can send them to the Army Review Board, and we can send them to the VA. So there is a resource that we provide for you guys, veterans. It's the Veteran Service Organizations. They help. They are a free service that will be able to give you more direction on how to fill out the application, what materials you need, so that you could turn it in to those agencies, and so that they could review your story and try to get you an upgrade change, or try to get you service connection to the VA. So we will help you with that. We will help you with turning that into those agencies. I see that you brought some stuff in with yourself.
Yeah, this is all my evidence as to why I should be upgraded from a dishonorable discharge to honorable. My buddy statements, my PTSD claims, and a timeline of my events to help further my case as to why I should be considered for it.
Yeah, this is all good stuff. These are things that the Army Review Board or the VA will consider when it comes down to your upgrade or getting you service treatment. But what I don't see in here is like any type of military records. We're able to get those records on your behalf. You can contact it's called the NPRC, it's National Records Center, National Personnel Records Center. We're able to contact them for you to get your military records. We'll also contact the Army to try to get your health records to see if you were indeed on doctor's orders, and if we can get that kind of evidence for you, you can turn that into your packet. We'll allow you to get those documents. You could take them with you to the VSO organization and get that packet set up. But the buddy statements are good. They show your character when you were in and out of the Army. So those are very important. I see that you graduated with honors. That's also good that you did that with, especially since you didn't have any type of GI or anything like that. So that's great. So yeah, we're more than welcome to use this material and enter it into the packet. I have a packet here ready for you. We'll take copies of these and we'll give them to you, so that when we provide you that resource for the VSOs, they'll include that into your packets that you're going to send to the Army Review Board and the VA Healthcare Center. Also, if you're homeless, we have a bunch of resources for veterans, and for just regular people as well. But I see that you have an email address. We'll send all those resources to you, so you can contact those agencies, and hopefully they'll get you set up with some adequate housing. There's U.S. vets. I understand you're with CAS and you want to get out of CAS, so we'll try to help you get out of CAS. But before we could contact those agencies on your behalf, before we could actually send you any type of information, I'm going to need you to sign a privacy release form, so that you'll give us permission to contact them on your behalf. Also, confidentiality. You can't. We're not going to share this type of information with anybody else but the people that you want us to share it with. So that's the Army Review Board and the VA Health Center. So, do you have any questions about confidentiality?
No, thank you.
Okay. You're more than welcome to share your information with anybody that you want to. It's all totally your permission, but we're not going to go out and put your information out there. So the next meeting we have, hopefully we have your health records, we have your military records, and we're able to give those to you so that you can give them to the VSO, so that we can have some packets ready to turn into the Army Review Board and also the VA Health Regional Office, so that they could, so that the Army Review Board could update your rating, and that the healthcare service could try to get you some service treatment for your PTSD and for the Agent Orange exposure. Is there any questions you have for me, Mr. Lawrence?
No, thank you.
No? All right, sir. Well, thank you very much for coming in today. Thank you for the service that you did for our country. Look forward to seeing you next time and getting this ball rolling.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good afternoon, Lawrence.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for coming in today.
Well,
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Can I get you anything to drink? Maybe some water or some coffee?
No, I'm good.
All right. So last time we talked, we sent you to the VSOs so that you can get some packets ready. so that we can send them out to some organizations for you. The Army Review Board and the VA Healthcare Services Center, the regional office. I was able to get you the military records that you requested and also the healthcare records for the military you requested. So I'm glad I got those to you. Was the VSO able to use those to?
Yeah. They say it was pretty accurate, pretty sufficient enough.
All right, that's good. So we also sent you to US Vets to see if you can get some housing. Was US Vets able to get you housing?
It's a process, but slowly but surely, I believe they will do their jobs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I was a little worried about US Vets because when I was doing research to help your case, they said they wouldn't be able to take anybody with a dishonorable discharge. So if you ever run into that issue where they tell you that because you have a dishonorable discharge, that they won't take you to live in their houses, I actually have another resource for you,
Okay.
and it's called Westward Ho. And so if you run into that issue with US Vets, go ahead and contact Westward Ho, and they should be able to help you. All right? All right, sir?
All right. Sounds good.
Good. So how did the VSOs do? Were they do a good job?
Yeah, I was pretty satisfied with their services for me, helping me out, even though I'm still dishonorable right now.
Mm-hmm.
Happy and grateful that they're helping me out. So
That's good, sir. So it must feel good to get the ball rolling on this, so you can try to get your discharge upgraded.
yes.
So it's good to hear. So I see you brought in the packets that actually the VSOs got here.
Yeah.
We have the Army Review Board and the VA claim, so that we can send these to the organizations. I'm just going to review these.
Yeah.
So I see the buddy statements are here, which is great. I said that they would be useful in the beginning when we first met. I see some military records in here. It's good to see that you actually have satisfactory. So it looks like it's all satisfactory all the way down from the beginning of your service up to the point to where you got the injury. So that totally makes sense that to that point, because of discrimination, they would turn you down to unsatisfactory. So it's good to have that documented. I also see here that you have some health records showing that you were indeed on doctor's care, so that it was kind of wrong for the lieutenant to come in and tell you that you had to go to the field. So I'm glad we have all this documented. Let me see the VA claim. So the VA claim one, it looks the same, and that totally makes sense.
Same process and stuff.
Right, same process. We have some documents here telling with details on your veteran service. So, I mean your Vietnam service. So that would hopefully link your Agent Orange exposure. It says here that you're in Vietnam for 2 years. So that would be helpful too. Hopefully the VA comes around. So thank you very much for going to the VSOs and getting all this organized and helping them out. We're gonna go ahead. We'll go ahead and send these in to the appropriate organizations. You have any questions about these?
No, pretty straightforward.
Right, yeah, it is. Let's see here. So I also did some research about your Agent Orange exposure. I was looking up the VA and how they give treatment to veterans that have Agent Orange exposure, and it turns out that you actually have to prove that you actually have the Agent Orange exposure, which is hard for you to do because you don't have any health care, and so you can't go to the VA and ask them to diagnose you with any Agent Orange exposure. So here I have a list of healthcare facilities that will give you free services on diagnosis, and also have here a list of all the Agent Orange side effects. So you could contact these agencies, see if they'll give you an appointment, and also see if you have any of these diseases or illnesses. Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You have any questions about Agent Orange, my research?
No, I just know it's just gonna be another long process, as with everything about changing my status from dishonorable to honorable. So
Right, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately the VA and the Army, the review board, they have extensive processes. They have a lot of veterans turning in documentation to try to get their discharge upgraded. They have a lot of veterans claims to try to get them health care. So unfortunately, they have a list, and we're just getting into this list. So, but because you're homeless, because you have a Purple Heart, I believe that I'll be able to draft an expedite inquiry for because of financial hardship, and we'll try to get you off the streets as soon as possible. So hopefully this puts you up on that list. So we should try to be happy about that.
oh, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. So thanks for all this information. Thanks for following through with the VSOs and coming to the office and giving us these documents so we can send them out. I'll draw out some inquiries whenever you leave as soon as possible to the VA, to the Army Review Board, and get this started so that we can hopefully get your discharge upgrade, or at least get you some PTSD and Agent Orange treatment from the VA. All right.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Also, from now on, it's kind of a waiting game.
Yeah.
So every 2 weeks, I'm gonna give you a call and see how you're doing. Check and see if you actually contacted Westward Ho. I highly recommend that you contact Westward Ho just in case the U.S. vet does indeed reject you for your dishonorable discharge. So please contact Westward Ho. I'm gonna call you every 2 weeks to see if follow up with you. And if you receive anything from the VA, or if you receive anything from the Army Review Board, please give us a call and update us and tell us what's going on. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sir. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence, for coming in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.